Good morning. Great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning. Yes, again, the beautiful reminder of choice that you have, I have, that we all have. And what is that choice about? The choice is all about thought. It's always been about thought, and it's always going to be about thought and nothing else. And this is really important for you to get to understand because that's where it all begins. Remember, thought externalizes itself. You become how you're thinking most of the time, not what you're thinking about, how you're thinking. And how you're thinking is based from what you believe to be true, the habits you have. See, that's what's determining how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle, all of it. And if you don't change that, then guess what's not going to change? That, those results, those outcomes. See, we're talking about cause and effect, sowing, reaping. Your outer world is a reflection of what's happening in your inner world. That inner world is all about the mind, and what's in the mind is thought. It's movement of ideas. And the more you connect with that and operate from that, the more you will see the change that you seek, no matter what that change is that you're seeking. See, it's really amazing. And you think about at the core of it is this wonderful tool called imagination, which is the starting point of all creation. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. All things were made by imagination, and without imagination was not anything made that was made. And you have one. You get to use yours however you want to use it. And there is no limit with regards to what you could imagine. And with that being said, with limitation, if it's there, it's just because of the limitations that you've agreed to and accepted. The point is that you can change everything in your life by using your mind, of which in it is imagination. You know, Neville Goddard talks about this so beautifully and talks about all about that inner narrative and your attitude towards yourself, which is something that it's imagined, and that's what determines the outside. So that's what Dolly and I have been working so diligently on in our lives, and with everything that we've learned from our coach and mentor Bob Proctor. He was sharing all this information, and we became consultants and learned from Bob, and it made a big effect in our life. And what's really cool is now we're here as Elevitality, and we have this beautiful container where we've led to helping people to feel liberated with this disruptor here. There's no such thing as self-sabotage. And then also emergence, the implementation tool to create the actual transformation. And our invitation to you is, yes, to connect with that and use it and apply it in your life. Now, what have we been studying here? We've been studying here this beautiful gem, As a Man Thinketh, Out from the Heart. If you don't have a copy of this, make sure that you do get a copy of it. There's two different books here, As a Man Thinketh from 1903 and Out from the Heart, which is 1904. Now, again, all of this knowledge that's here, all of these words, they have no power in and of itself. If you want them to have an effect on your life, you got to use it. You can't just sit there and say, oh, I know it. And that goes for all the information that we share with you, even this monologue that I shared with you at the beginning of this call. It's wonderful, powerful, but if you don't use it, I got news for you. Your life's not going to change. So, with that being said, let's go into this, shall we? Let's dive into this wonderful, beautiful information from the amazing James Allen. Here we go. Ready? Type in the comments, I'm ready. You ready? Here we go. All right. Now, where we are in this book is page 46. And what does he say here? Remember, this has to do with you delivering a different outcome in your life or different outcomes in your life. All growth and life is from within outward. All decay and death is from without inward. This is a universal law. All evolution proceeds from within. All adjustments must take place within. He who ceases to strive against others and employs his powers in transformation, regeneration, and development of his own mind conserves his energies and preserves himself. and he succeeds in harmonizing his own mind. He leads others by consideration and charity into a like blessed state. For not by assuming authority and guidance over other minds is the way of enlightenment and peace discovered, but by exercising a lawful authority over one's own and by guiding oneself in pathways of steadfast and lofty virtue. And what is he saying here? He's saying that this is how everything works, that it's always from within out, not without in. Without in meaning if your life is not going to change, it's not going to grow if you're constantly emotionally involved with the results of your life. If you're saying, I want, if you're looking at your dreams as something that could be or will be, no, you've got to operate differently. So think about that for you. You've got to cease to strive against others. You got to stop thinking of everybody else on the outside as being your competition. You got to think creatively, and that's what he's talking about here. Use the powers you have inside of you, your higher mental faculties, your imagination, perception, reason, will, memory, intuition. And when you engage with that, that's what you have to change that inner narrative inside. And with that, you will be in harmony. You will succeed, just as it's shared here. You will deliver different outcomes and be in a peaceful and calm state, regardless of what's happening. Why? Because you're responding, you're not reacting. Now he says here, all man's life proceeds from his heart. All of your life proceeds from your heart. So I'll type that in the comments. All of my life proceeds from my heart. Now, we're not talking about this beating heart that you have for your physical body. We're talking about your subconscious mind. As you thinketh in your subconscious mind, so are you. As you thinketh in your heart, so are you. As you thinketh based on what you believe to be true, the habits you have, so are you. You want to know what's in your heart? Just look at your results. Because your results tell the truth of what's been there, which is what's in your subconscious mind. So man's life proceeds from his heart, his mind. He has compounded that mind by his own thoughts and deeds. It is in his power to refashion that mind by his choice of thought. He can therefore transform his life. Let us see how this is to be done. Now think about the closing of this chapter in this paragraph. What's in your subconscious mind has been compounded by your own thoughts, the thoughts that have been there, that have been held there, and your deeds, which reinforce those thoughts. And you have this power to change all of it. See, this is the dominion you have over this earth. This is the dominion that you get to claim ownership of. And the way to claim ownership of it is to literally think. And again, how do you do that? By choosing different thoughts, by changing what's been planted there. Remember, seed, plant, blossom, fruit. That's the fourfold order of the universe. Everything produces after its kind. Plant an avocado seed. Do you get apples? No, you get avocados. See, that's the reaping. If you want something different to reap, you've got to have something that has a different source, a different cause. If you want to earn more, you're not going to be able to get there with the seeds that have been planted in you that are delivering the income that you don't want. You've got to build it in your own mind first. Now let's proceed further. Chapter 3. I love this chapter. Oh my God, it's so good. Formation of habit. Type in the comments, people form habits, habits form futures. People form habits, habits form futures. If you want to change your life, you must change your habits. People form habits, habits form futures. Now, before we proceed, for those of you who are watching this live stream, and would love to connect to the remainder of these live calls and the recordings, stop sitting there and thinking about it and decide here right now, go to Elevitality and register for Master Your Mind. And from there, you'll have access to the remainder of it, including the recordings. You'll thank yourself later.